Okay. Good evening and welcome to our August study session. It is 7:01. We're going to open the meeting. Rainey wanted me to say the time. 7:01 is when we're starting. Hope everyone is enjoying the warm weather and having a happy, peaceful, and safe summer break. We've been busy here analyzing data and finalizing schedules and preparing documents and establishing goals for the year. I want to commend our summer employees, including the administration, custodians, everyone working in the summer. They're working so hard. The buildings are looking really, really good. We're just gearing up for August 15th, new teachers, August 18th, the rest of the teachers, August 21st, students. So we're getting excited for the start of the school year. So, okay, that's all in terms of my comments. Let's have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's jump into our agenda topics. And first we have an education update. A couple of our administrators unfortunately can't be with us, so I'm going to read a couple of these, and then I'll have Mr. Hewitt and Ms. DeRochers give their update at the microphone here in a second. But basically, everybody's kind of here and I'm getting ready for school. I'm going to read Werner Elementary's. As of a few days ago, they're up to 160 students with approximately 6 pending registrations for the 25-26 school year. Kindergarten orientation is Tuesday, August 19th from 4:15 to 5:15 p.m. Werner's PTO will be joining the Verona Police Department and the Chamber of Commerce for National Night Out on Tuesday, that's tomorrow. Tuesday, August 5th from 5:30 to 7 at Railroad Park. There'll be food, activities, and free backpacks and school supplies. That's pretty cool. The elementary principals have finalized dates for iReady diagnostic assessments in reading and math. Everybody are going to give those assessments the exact same time this year. We think we'll be more efficient, we'll streamline things both for teachers and students alike. And Meet the Teacher Curriculum Night is Thursday, August 28th, 6 to 7:30. They're just putting the final touches on schedules as well. Okay, 10th Street, 405 students at 10th Street. There are 11 new families and approximately 17 new students coming in. There's a new family orientation. That's Tuesday, August 12th from 9 to 10 a.m. In partnership with the PTO, once again, there's popsicles on the playground for the incoming kindergarten students. That's Wednesday the 20th, right, the day before the first day of school. And the back to school food truck event, which is always pretty awesome. And that's Tuesday, August 19th from 5 to 7. For those of you who haven't come to that, it's a pretty neat thing. In addition, the admin team, they talked about not only the iReady diagnostics, but the PSSA testing as well, creating sort of practice type environments for the PSSAs to make sure the kids are fully prepared and used to those testing conditions. And finally, the PTO, he wanted me to tell you that the PTO continues to explore options for a possible outdoor classroom space on the campus. They've received some bids and some ideas from different companies, and the PTO is in the process of reviewing those proposals. They'll be working closely with the vendor, and when they're ready, they will bring proposals, ideas, plans to the board for consideration and discussion. So they've reached out, made sure that everybody's on hold, and we're going to make sure that we follow the protocol and look at the plans and make sure the board is in full approval of that possible project. So more to come there. Mr. Hewitt.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all having a great summer. Good to see you all. It's going to be almost identical to what Dr. English just read for the elementary schools. It's been a fairly typical summer, which has been nice. First typical summer we've had in quite a while without crazy construction projects, things like that. So, what we do in the summer is we balance classes, we get the transcripts ready, we send them off to colleges for the graduates, we get the transcripts ready for juniors and send them home to make sure everyone takes a look at them and they look good. Complete duty rosters, study halls, lunches. Like Dr. English said, we did a lot of data analysis over the summer, PSSAs, keystones, AP exams. We tease out as much data as we can, so it's useful. So we disseminate that to the teachers so they can use it. And actually, one of our PE days at the beginning of the year was going to be how to use some of this data. Will Van Meyer, our new social studies teacher, he was in, met with his mentors, got his teaching materials, laptop, his room, he's all set to go. We've got our incoming 7th grade orientation breakfast, Wednesday the 13th from 8 to 9:30. I'm sure we talked about, we've posted and we will be interviewing for a new Spanish teacher this week. We've got 2 applicants, so not bad. I'm a little worried it's late in the game. Preparing for opening day presentations for teachers, first day presentations with students, and as Dr. English mentioned, the IRA is going to be August 26th to the 28th. Get our baseline scores with conferencing with the junior high students to follow September 2nd through 4th, and we have scheduled the PSAT for juniors for October 8th. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rochers.
So special ed, we have the most students coming into kindergarten, coming in from early intervention than we've ever had before. There's 14, which is really high. I'm thinking that this is our COVID babies that are coming that spent the first 2 years of their life with looking at people with masks on, so their language skills aren't quite there and their social skills aren't quite there. So just working with that and trying to get those classrooms ready to help with those students. We're continuing to work on professional development. Off of the PD recommendation for cyclical monitoring that came from last year, so we're working on that, focusing on compliance and documentation training for the special ed teachers to the start of the school year. I've also revamped the paraprofessional support. They will be getting updated training this year. They also now have a handbook that they can go through that they'll be using and will be given to all of the teachers just to make sure paraprofessionals and teachers are on the same page. For the high school special ed teachers, we're going to be focusing a lot on transition planning, making sure that those high school students that have IEPs will be ready to move on after high school and after they leave us, either with jobs or supports or volunteer opportunities. We did have some staffing changes. As you know, Beth Montel retired, so Jennifer Wagan will be moving from Berner over here to 10th Street. Hannah Chapman was hired, and she has been in and is getting her room ready over at Berner, so she's excited for that. Christy Maysville will be moving upstairs here at 10th Street to work with the 4th through 6th grade. And then we also did a little bit of program restructuring at the high school for the life skills classroom. We made it a little bit more self-contained, which was helpful in the fact that we did not have to replace 2 of the paraprofessionals that resigned. So we cut down on some paraprofessional staffing at the high school as a result of that. That's pretty much it.
Before we move on to our athletic director, any questions for our administrators? Okay. Mr. Carter is going to give a fall sports update and a field update. Mr. Carter.
Good evening, everybody. So, a couple of things. I was out in the field today. I did not get to talk to the supervisor there. However, the field is looking pretty good. They had the sprinklers going and everything like that. So it's getting better every day. So that is definitely a good thing. The teams are down there practicing right now on the fields. I did talk, whenever I talked to them last week, they are permitted to practice on the areas where the sod is not, where they're not going to be sod or anything like that. So Both the junior high and varsity football teams are both on the field practicing. So we are good to go as far as that goes. Soccer game, or the scrimmages, I have been able to move all of the scrimmages, so we are good to go as far as that goes. The target date that they should be done is August 23rd, so that is Saturday for a football game. So that will be the target date that the project is supposed to be done. So we will not be missing any of our main games. We will be missing one girls soccer game. I think it's the 22nd, but hopefully they will be done. But I've already moved that game. So as far as all the scrimmages goes, as far as all the scrimmages go, we are good to go. Everything else, schedule-wise, we're moving forward. All the schedules are done. I'm getting a couple, just confirming a couple dates. A couple times, but everything else is good. That's it.
Ready to go for the fall season?
All ready to go for the fall season.
All right, we're excited for the fall season.
Yes, indeed.
Any questions for Mr. Carter?
You know, I can't let you go without
That's
asking a
okay.
question.
I love them.
Well, two things. I guess when you said that this, like, soccer scrimmage is just getting moved to later, or is it waiting, I guess, like,
They're just getting moved from a home to away.
Oh, to
Yeah, so it'll be the same day, just away.
Okay.
One of the games we may have to go to, not no off season, I'm confirming that, but
Okay.
all the other games are pretty much away, same date, and then the times they'll be up on the site as far as what times they will be.
Okay. And then the second thing, I noticed that, and I mentioned this already, the report in Neil, that the athletics website has kind of gotten an overhaul, it looks like. And I don't know if that's just from the platform changing or from, whatever entity was running it before, but I guess a couple questions regarding it was like making sure that obviously everything that was up to date from the old site is getting pulled over to the new, because it looks like some of it is there, but some of it's kind of old, like info or photos.
So that website is brand new. So with Arbiter buying out Play On Sports, I think that everything hasn't been moved over. I do have a call in to find out what's going on, because there's some back end things from a scheduling standpoint and assigning coaches and different things like that that I've run into an issue with. So I definitely have a call into them to find out, to get everything straight.
Okay, yeah, it largely looks definitely much better.
Right.
Like, I can just tell that it looked like some of it wasn't filled in, or like some of it said like one sport had middle school and some there wasn't varsity, or, like there was some stuff like this,
Right.
or photos were old, or, like things like
Yeah.
that. But the other part to that question, or my question was, will the, posts that normally happen off of the website still happen the same way, in terms of like when coaches will put in an article that says like, here's the recap of the game, here's the score, does that all still feed the same way through the website and Twitter and all of that?
So that's what I had to find out, but that's how I found out that there was an issue. With the new coaches that we have, I started inviting them, and they were not able to accept the invitation.
I see.
So that's whenever I put in a call to find out, exactly what's going on. It was an automated message, and it gave up the coaches that we had, and I'm not able to go in and change. So there's just a few different questions that I do need to find out from them, based off of what I've seen on the site currently.
Yeah.
So yeah, all those questions definitely will be answered.
Okay, yeah, because that's super helpful when like, that's just like an automated thing,
Right.
like that happens.
Absolutely.
You don't have to do it manually every time you're doing it.
Which I don't know, because Arbiter bought them out, so I think it's going to its own different platform now, so I don't think it's still going to be VNN. We could continue to use them as a vendor, however, I don't know if it's going to be automated like it was before.
Yeah, this is more from a communications, perspective, just
Right.
from as much as people don't like Twitter or X, whatever you're gonna call it now, it is kind of where all the sports information lives, when it comes to high school sports and stuff, and college and whatever. So the fact that all of our stuff would automatically just get fed there from our website whenever there's a game or a score update or whatever, that was really helpful. Because we
Absolutely.
do have some teams that have their own Twitter, accounts, maybe baseball,
does, and it's like not all of them are really well maintained, and so, which is fine, because it's, I know it's an extra thing to have to do with your coach, or tell somebody to help you do it. But if we can just continue that if possible, through the website, that'll make things a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely, those are definitely concerns of mine as well, so I'm definitely gonna make sure that they address those,
Yeah,
because that definitely helps out.
yeah, and even when coaches change, like, I don't know, I'm sure Jill did, but like, if you, all the logins for like the girls page separate from like the athletics one that gets fed through Twitter, you know what I mean? Like, so sometimes it's like just
Right.
details, like how that stuff shows up.
Yeah, I'll definitely make sure.
Okay.
On a separate note, wait, is that it? For,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. Couple of positive things. We do have a tennis coach. Tennis coach came on board. We, Richie Lyons, I guess it's Regina's son. He is gonna step up and be our tennis coach for the year. So that's definitely a plus. And the other thing, we have three great men, 2 men and 1 woman that stepped up to be a junior high co-ed soccer coaches. So they've been phenomenal so far. So the only thing right now that we need to find is a athletic fitness center trainer. So that's what I'm working on right now. So if anybody knows anybody, send them my way. Send them my way.
Any other questions for Mr. Carter? Mr. Carter, thanks for all the work this summer, getting everything ready and being down on the field and, keeping a close eye on what's going on. So we appreciate it. And I also want to say publicly that the USGA has agreed in case you have backup plans, just in case the sod isn't progressing as we think it will, but so far it is, and we think we're going to be in good shape. But we have lots of backup plans in place. The kids won't miss a beat, and if we need to, utilize other facilities, we will.
I guess I should have said that. I have talked to other APs, and if we do need to use other facilities, we can, whether it be for games or practices. We definitely have options. So we will not miss any games, regardless.
We won't skip a beat.
We won't skip a beat.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's move into the first hearing of citizens. This is designated for agenda topics only. If you'd like to speak, sign in, come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Also, keep in mind that the board does not typically respond to public comment, but rather takes the hearing into consideration for future governance. Also know that all comments and meetings are currently being recorded. Anyone for the first hearing? Ms. Tomlinson? No? Okay. Okay, there's a second in case you change your mind. All right, let's move into discussion review of potential motions for approval for next week's voting meeting, starting with business and finance. Ms. Newberg.
I have 5 motions for consideration of approval. Number 1, approval of capital and Christmas purchase for replacement of both IT servers in the amount of $32,740, a network attached storage NAS device in the amount of $17,191, and installation services by West Tech in the amount of $6,000. Number 2, I have approval of a capital purchase in the amount of $54,685 for combination chair desk for the junior senior high school. This is a capital purchase and it's a Star's purchase. Number 3, approval of capital purchase in the amount of $12,293 for the round perforated table for patio at the junior senior high school and Burner Elementary. These are the same tables that are sitting outside of 10th Street, so Burner students can have
those systems are in need of replacement. Do I have any questions? Yes, because the principals, high school principals picked those bad boys out. They are a larger chair. They are a 17-inch top, I believe, right?
Yeah, the principals outside in all three of the chairs we have.
They all belong.
Yeah, well, it's-
This one was too small, this one was too big, and this one was just great. And these don't like roll back when you sit down.
That's exactly the ones we are using.
Yeah, the ones that make you feel like you're gonna fall on the floor when you sit down.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move into agreements, contracts, and resolutions. Most of the items in this section are typical annual agreements for this time of the year, so I'll go through them best I can here. First is the sponsor-to-sponsor agreement with the RCC. This is our annual agreement through the Department of Education for purchasing meals for the operation of their nonprofit organization. Second is an agreement between Pediatric Therapy Source LLC and Riverview. This is for possible physical therapy services for our students for the upcoming year. Third is our AIU pass-through funds agreement. This is our annual agreement with the AIU through which we funnel our pass-through funds in the amount this year of $1,302 to support our early intervention program. Fourth, agreement with Dell Financial Services for tech equipment for 48 months in the annual amount of $148,670.10. This is an agreement of our, well, go ahead.
This actually is a 48-month lease. The total dollar amount is $148,670. It's a 4-year lease for the devices for the students. The lease was a more fiscally responsible way to make sure that we had working devices in students' hands for the next 4 years.
Okay, I stand corrected there. 5, agreement with the School for the Deaf, Western PA for 25-26 for IEP services. This is our annual agreement with them. 6 is Wesley Family Services and Wesley Family Services for ESY. This is our agreement with Wesley for partial hospitalization services as needed and for extended school year services for one of our students for this summer. We have an agreement with Behavioral Health Professional Services Allegheny Clinic's Chill Project. This is an annual agreement with the Allegheny Clinic for possible extended school year services as needed. We have a motion to approve agreement with Oakmont Borough for the Creekside Park for Riverview Soccer for the fall sports season, $400. Once again, that's an annual agreement with the borough. We have an agreement with Watson Institute Education Center, which is for this upcoming year for our students that attend there. And that also extends to the agreement with Watson, not only for the Education Institute, but the Institute Social Center. The agreement with the YMCA for the upcoming school year. This is for our after-school partnership. And we also have an agreement with American Fidelity for Section 125 services effective July 1st, 2005. Ms. Luber, you want to elaborate on that one?
So American Fidelity, currently we have,
Thought it was loud enough. Currently, we have a company by the name of CBIZ. CBIZ is our HSA that individuals, our employees are able to make deductions out of, put that into a health savings account. We also have AFLAC that they're able to make deductions from their pay and we pay directly. American Fidelity is the recommended vendor
not just cutting out the other items, but I will tell you that I would like to eventually transfer all of the HSA from CBIZ to American Fidelity. American Fidelity does not charge a fee. Currently, we're paying $50 a month for a company to take our employees' money and put it in a bank account and pay it back to them when they submit receipts. American Fidelity, as I said, it's a one-stop shop. Everyone can log in on their phone. I have the app on my phone from my previous employer where I could submit everything online and then it automatically was deposited into my checking account. Instead of making a copy of the check and a receipt and having to mail it in, it's a little archaic the way that we're doing it now. So I'm hopeful that this will be a more streamlined process for the future. Again, it's something that we're going to put in place. We're not just going to cut everything else out. I have a meeting set up with the head of the union to discuss the transition moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Luber. We also have an agreement with Quest Tech for E-rate services for the 25-26 school year. This will result in significant reimbursement for our technology products, which we've been underutilizing the last few years, so we're excited for that. And finally, we have an agreement with Maxim Healthcare for student services for the 25-26 school year. That's for LPN services for the district if and when they may be needed. Okay.
On the YMCA after school program, it says a minimum of 20 kids. Do they typically have?
Yeah, the YMCA program is pretty full, yeah. I know last year they had well over 20 students. Any other questions on any of those agreements for the upcoming school year? Excellent. Let's move to board governance. We only have one item for your consideration next week, which is the booster budgetary outline for the Verner PTO. Any questions on that budgetary outline? We have a bunch of events planned for Verner PTO this year, so we're excited for that. We appreciate the support of our PTOs, certainly. Any questions there? Personnel. We're asking for your approval of a retroactive unpaid day for one of our employees, resignations of one of our teachers, 3 paraprofessionals and 2 coaches. We'll also be asking you to consider the cost of a neutral salary adjustment for football and junior high school soccer, and the approval of the many athletics and volunteer coaches as provided. We also had hired a new paraprofessional, as well as a rehire of one, which we're excited about. We also have an anticipated REA, a supplemental position, a student intern with IEP. We also have an anticipated teacher resignation, as well as an anticipated teacher hire. We should have more information on that tomorrow. That information will be available to you at the voting session next week. Any questions or discussion relating to any of these items? Well, like I said, all of those items will be fully made available to you. We have to wait on one of them until tomorrow, which we've made you all aware of in the weeklies. Okay. Let's move into student life. Just one item next week for your consideration, and that is the cross-country team's attendance at the Malone Invitational. That's at no cost to the school district for September 20th and 21st. Any questions regarding that trip? That's typical. Usually the wonderful Mrs. Strowski chooses one a year, and that's the one for the upcoming year. Okay. Let's move into education. Couple items here. First is the approval of an iPass purchase with Apple Inc. Education in the amount of $42,195.25. Ms. Luber, would you like to elaborate that? There's a couple weird items here which are sort of like education and business and finance, or agreements and contracts and business and finance. So that's why Ms. Luber and I are tag teaming a little bit here.
So these are items that will be purchased for our younger grades for the upcoming school year. The iPad purchase is desperately needed. It's placed in a cycle that the previous IT director had in, and Mrs. Getz has reviewed and recommended this purchase. So the Dell is a lease. The laptops for the higher grades are a little more expensive. We could get a 10-pack of Apple iPads for like $299, $329 a piece. So $3,300 you can get 10. The laptops, these are more expensive, plus they break a lot easier. So with the lease agreement in place, we can replace those, we can send them back, get a new one in. Whereas Apple also has a kind of warranty on it, but we also put cases on those, like the strong
Keyboard.
cases. Yeah. So it's just obviously a different purchase for your different grade levels and what your curriculum.
The iPads, do they stay in the classrooms? They don't go home with kids? Or do they?
So
They can go home with
that's
kids,
not,
yeah.
that's not my lane.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They are available to go home. There are times when they're in the classroom. There are times when they go home. Like she said, they have covers, they have keyboards, and the iPads are for K through 3. Everybody else has laptops in the district. And the lease is a more cost-effective way to get the laptops. So we're doing our best to be as financially conservative as we can with tech items, and Ms. Getz is helping us to do that. The second item is just to accept my participation in the Leadership Pittsburgh program, where that's executive leaders from the region, enhancing leadership capacity, examining regional issues and challenges, and civic engagement, and act on a regional agenda at the leadership level. Fortunately for the district, that's a $6,000, $5,000 I got a scholarship for, so we're reducing costs of that. That's also helping me to keep my education credits current as well. So it kills 2 birds with 1 stone there. So any questions on those 2 items in education? Okay, board meeting minutes. We are asking you for your consideration of the June study session and voting minutes. Are there any edits, revisions, omissions, anything that you want to have us focus on in terms of those minutes? Minutes should be pretty accurate considering we have transcripts of those now, so that's one improvement we've made. We record those, we get the transcripts, so the minutes should be, accurate. We also obviously have all of the videos posted online as well.
I did notice there's one word that says refer to the video, so I don't know if some of that needs to be put into minutes, because technically the video, your only goes on like for a year, and the official minutes are not the videos for the
Okay. Yep, I'll look into that and make sure that there are updates, or at least an overview of that section. Notes. That's what you would recommend, Mr. Muscanti? Yes. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Anything else for those minutes? Appreciate the feedback there. Okay, our second hearing of citizens, this is designated for all school-related topics. If you'd like to speak, please sign in and come up to the microphone, state your name and address. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Keep in mind that the board does not typically respond to public comment, but rather takes the hearing into consideration for future governance. Also, please realize all comments and meetings are recorded. Ms. Tomlinson.
Hello, Paula Tomlinson, 234 Riverview. I hope you all are having a great summer. Thank you for being here and addressing. The field was a big topic this summer amongst a lot of families in town, and I knew USJ was going to do the right thing, and I knew I wish it could not have made, the news, but the whole time I knew that they were misinformed, but thank you for clearing it all up. I do have a question. As you all know, I'm an insurance agent, and I saw we switched insurance brokers or insurance agencies back in June, or maybe we did that last year. Did EHG,
Yeah, we switched from,
the local guys?
to EHG, yes.
Okay, so I see that there is an interscholastic sports policy that was written. Sounds fantastic. How do we see what that covers?
That is located on the website. It's
Okay.
the same policy that we've had in place for many years.
Ever?
Yeah, I believe that's on the athletic website. I'll email you the link. How's that?
Thank you. As injuries have occurred, or, I say to parents, you are the voice. You need to speak to Ms. Bluebird as well as the AD if there's an injury that happened on school property. We have something in place, but I didn't want to speak any further to it because.
Right, and it's a for purchase for those who might be underinsured or not. Yeah, it's a policy that's made available.
Okay, so it's not if a kiddo breaks their leg playing on our football team?
No.
Okay, because other districts have coverages. People were comparing apples to apples, Johnny, who goes to this school, broke his leg last year, and the school district paid all his medical bills, and I don't think so. So, but I didn't want to even finish the conversation because.
Typically, in my 20-some years, we've only ever provided the interscholastic for purchase. It's kind of like the computer that you get from the school. Some districts, you're welcome to buy a $40 insurance policy that gets you out of, spending $700 for a replacement. It's only $100.
Yeah.
So,
Well, so that's what I figured. I just, again, I didn't want to speak to it. I said, I'll ask it in this meeting.
yeah, that would be, unfortunately, that's an expense that I can't really budget for.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what it's for me for a kid.
And, no.
Okay. I didn't. Things happen. Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tomlinson. Oh, here we go. All right.
I wish they made the paper coatings into bottles.
For juice, you want them in plastic bottles, right? Not the cartons.
Yeah,
Is there a certain juice that you wanted to bring back?
and bring back crayfish.
Do you think you can, Ms. Jacobs Rohan, do you think you could email me or have him email that? Just email it to me so I can have it, so I can you know what I mean, it's like, it goes into the queue. No, just the request, I just wanted, I want some details. Go ahead, did you want to say something about that?
So, it's all regulated by the amount of sugar that's in certain juices, so I will look at the rules and regs and
Right.
we will get back to with the plastic bottles with the biodegradable plates, that's like, double negative.
Get them on the phone and tell them, we got
I'm paying plates, a lot more for plates now.
Okay. Yeah, just parse that out in terms thank you. Any other discussion, comments at this time? With hearing none, I may have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, meeting is adjourned at 7:42 p.m. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the summer. Summer's not over yet. Enjoy the rest of your summer and get ready for another great